very good afternoon to all those who are just joining us and to all those who have been with us on the Vibe Show. But karibuni sana to another episode of the Pan-African Diary. I hope you're doing great on this wonderful Friday afternoon. It is exactly 8 minutes to 1 p.m. right here in the 254, and you can as well let us know what is the time on your end. But karibuni sana once again. My name is Katie, in case you're joining us for the first time, and in case you're here for the first time, you are on TikTok. Kindly make sure you follow us. In case you are with us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. To all those who are listening to us via the radio station, shout out to you, and remember, you can always keep it interactive with us right here and let us know how is your day coming along. What is your thoughts about what we shall be talking about? Yes, karibuni sana once again, and of course I keep on telling you, this show is about women who understand politics, and of course I am with my co-host in the building.
Yes, karibuni sana family. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I hope you've been having a beautiful week, and of course I'm wishing you nothing but just a peaceful weekend. Karibuni to the Pan-African Diary, and of course remember to keep it interactive. For those who are joining us on YouTube, karibuni sana. On the radio station, remember to pin your comments via the show page. Katie shall be reading the comments, and of course for those who are also with us on TikTok, follow us in case this is your first time right here. My name is Joby, and of course enjoy the show.
Shout out to Maya, asante sana for tapping the screen for us. Shout out to Alpha, karibu sana, and make sure you're interacting with us. And as you get to interact with us, Pia, talk to us and let us know where are you tuned in from, and how is your day so far. We started off our show with an amazing jam that was charisma to all those who joined us from YouTube. But before then, we enjoyed the summer jam from BN called Lifestyle. But anyway, we went on to another beautiful jam done by Watenda Willie featuring Okelo Max, and that is a drill rumba. But we are hoping to get back to one more jam so that we get back with our quote of the day. And in case you have a quote of the day you'd love to motivate us with, please feel generous enough, feel kind enough to share your quote of the day with us. We are going back to one more jam, and also remember to keep it interactive. Don't forget to come back with your quote of the day. We're still going to listen to Watenda Willie featuring Okelo Max. The jam is drill rumba, and I hope you get to jam and to it as you prepare to share your quote with us. Never hate jealous people. They are jealous because they think you are better than them. And yes, this is motivated by my whole week. And yes, my one word to tell you: never hate jealous people. Sometimes they feel intimidated about you and what you're doing, and also what you're achieving in life.
My quote of the day today says, sometimes you gotta keep in touch but out of reach. That is my quote. Mziki wa kipekee, kila mtu na wake jitete, sina kupa ye, cheza mziki pole pole bumba ye, kilumba mziki wa kipekee, kila mtu na wake jitete, suku smilore nyakaje, ojende olonyore manukuru kuko bagore, rugi bende koro oido anili koro indere.
Welcome back and I hope you did get to jam onto that, and you didn't share your quote of the day, but it's okay. But in case you have a quote of the day, you can still share it on our WhatsApp number or on our TikTok, or also to all those who are listening to us via the radio station. You can also share your quote of the day on the show page. But getting started with our show for today, there has been a drug trial that has been happening in Sudan and also in some parts of Nabat, that is in Arabic continent or Arabic side, and also in Mexico. I hear some people call Mexico, but anyway, yes, there has been a drug trial that has offered hope in treating disabling fungal diseases. But do you think that this is hope? Of course it is not. We've been discussing about these drug trials in Africa, and I wish we were on the website, because today is on a Friday, because I would be able to share a video talking about results from the world's first double-blind clinical trial to find a treatment for fungal mesothelioma, a chronic disabling disease, have shown that a new oral treatment, fosravuconazole, this scientist's name is so hard for me to pronounce, is safe, patient-friendly, and effective. Mesothelioma, also known as Madura, foot of Nabat in Arabic, is one of the world's most neglected diseases. The drug was tested in Sudan, which, along with Mexico, reports some of the highest numbers of cases globally. And I'm like, it is sometimes they keep on, why do they, if they want to try a new drug, why is it in Africa? Why must they try it in Africa? We know very well this drug was made out of Africa. While we have labs in Africa, we actually have a lab in Sudan, but I'm still not sure if this lab is operational, because the last time we checked it was taken over by the RSF. But we still have more labs in Africa. Why don't they come and make these drugs in Africa? Why do they have now to import drugs from other continents and come to test them and put us on trial or try them on our bodies? This is a question, and also we should be careful. And this is why we keep on telling you guys, you should be careful about what you're taking. Even if you go to a hospital, unaambiwa ati, let me give you a VACC for TB, you should be careful, because at the end of the day, you don't have TB. Why do you need to protect yourself from that disease? Why do you need to protect yourself from a disease that you don't know even it exists? Like mesothelioma. Mesothelioma. This is a new word. This is a new disease I'm hearing. I've never heard of a disease called mesothelioma. So I'm like, why do I need to protect myself from something that I even don't know, something that I didn't even know exists? So it's questionable. And also, why do they have to manufacture them outside our continent and bring them to try on people in Africa? It is questionable.
I think we discussed this still on Friday. We had the same debate where we saw 453 children have been tested on the TB, just what you mentioned, and we discussed on it, and we said this is dangerous. We questioned the test. I don't want to speak much because we know that YouTube is gonna say we're violating the rules, and TikTok as well. So it is up to us as Africans again. Go back to my show that I shared yesterday, which I'll continue the video on Monday. If you missed yesterday's Pan-African list, go and watch literally how we have so many different types of natural herbs that are here to protect us, and what are we being offered by the white man, which is not produced here. Because I don't know if you know, but I saw somewhere on a certain video where Africans are not, even Black Americans, when it comes to the production of these medicines, they are not allowed to be there.
They are not allowed to be in these labs. It's always the white man.
So it is always a questionable, like, why would they allow us Black people to be part of the participation of what also it is part of what they claim is supposed to help us. If it is really safe, we need one of us, majority of us, if they're not sellout, also watching and being able to come up with better ideas of what has worked before and what can work better. But again, we know, like that lady from South Africa, the two of them, what they said yesterday, we've lost our culture as African people. We didn't have all of this deep, dependent of synthetic drugs as African people way back. We used to deal with every type of diseases that could come and attack us. We literally use to know and identify different types of roots and trees that are meant to help us through the help of the ancestors, like I spoke yesterday. But it is up to us, because we know Sudan is literally under attack. And I was watching a video which was saying, again, as much as people are speaking about free Palestine, free what, talk about Congo, talk about Sudan, talk about Ethiopia, Tigray, Eritrea. We have literally war going on, and it's been 7 months since the Sudan war began, because I think it was in February.
Yeah, it was.
Or March, somewhere in there. But it's been 7 months down the line where there's been displacement of the people. People are civilians running from left, right, and center. No access of medical, services. Children are being distracted from going to school. Literally, the development of the country is being disabled right now. Yeah, it's literally being distracted and all that. So Africans, we need to be conscious, as much as there's literally a war and then there's a help. So we need to be very careful, because these are, the Agenda 2030 is happening in all these crises as they literally bring the help.
And also remember, they are biological weapons. We will not mention much about that. But anyway, misotoma is caused by a fungus, and infection begins most often in the foot after a cat allows the fungus to enter from the soil or animal dung. It infects people who often walk barefoot. And who does walk barefoot nowadays? Anyways, in Africa, we still have people in the most of them. You'll find this in Sudan.
Yeah, wearing gloves za kuosha choo kama viatu.
Yeah, we have places like Sudan, we have Congo. Right now, the most places that are war torn, you'll find that these people are suffering to a point that they don't even afford shoes. They don't have shoes, to a point that they even if they are not even able to afford shoes, they don't even afford the food itself. But anyway, it infects people who walk barefoot, and the disease eats away at the flesh and is very difficult to treat. It's caught early enough. If caught early enough, there is a drug that can already be used, but a patient has to take up to 4 pills a day for an entire year. Imagine 4 pills a day for an entire year. This is so sad and it's so crazy. And at the end of the day,
just to pause you, also if they speak of it infects people who often walk with barefoot, I think we should talk about where Idi Amin was one among the leaders. As much as they claim he was a dictator, he did help Ugandans to literally be able to afford shoes. When we saw the Indians could come and make the market super, hike the prices of commodities and everything. It's so sad to see that materials come from Africa, shoes are made out of Africa, and they're gonna come back even 2 times expensive than the material itself, and even sometimes in a fake mode. It is super crazy. I don't understand why in Africa today we still have children who are walking barefoot.
But it's crazy, because I've seen people who walk barefoot even right now. It's not that they cannot afford shoes. I have a neighbor who is a very big man, and we knew him from not wearing shoes. I don't know why he doesn't.
Ushago, okay, if it is Ushago, it is different. At me Ushago, when I go and walk barefoot, trust me.
And that is where you will get the cow dung, because most of the places like urban centers, you don't find cows. So I bet it's also a way of creating some insecurities with the people in the villages, because the village people are the ones who walk barefoot. You will not go around the road right now where
I've walked barefoot since I was young. If you are and even today.
Yeah, even right now in the urban cities, you cannot even try to step down like this, because this is where open sewers are. But in Ushago you will walk because this soil is so clean. But now why are they saying that it is where the cow dung, it always gets to the cow dung?
We need to be conscious who's actually there and who's reporting the information. That is number one. Who came up, because if the WHO is involved, or the health ministry of Sudan, if they are involved, we know the control of the health ministries of Africa. So we need to be careful of who's giving the report. And this being a bioweapon, literally, we need to be conscious. How did it get to the rural areas? Because hakuna siku na tarehe watu wa ushago easily get affected by diseases, and the same thing is happening in Uganda. We literally right now speaking about rural places being now affected by diseases that literally are unknown. Someone is getting literally access into the villages. Something is happening. There's either a spread of 1, 2, 3 things in terms of aid, and which is coming up with this type of diseases. I don't believe walking barefoot, unless like what Kitty is saying, if you are literally in urban centers, that should make sense. But in the rural places, hell no. Hell no.
And they continue to say that they just need to give it a name, because it's like cancer right now they are talking about. But anyway, according to the trial results, the fosravoconazole treatment is cheaper and has fewer side effects than the current drug. Plus, a patient will only need to take 2 pills a week.
We don't need it. We don't need it. Again, like I said yesterday, go watch my show, yesterday's show. Learn something, African people, okay? Wherever you are, if you're going to catch this on a replay again, go and catch up with the Pan-African Bliss and catch up with the show and listen to what those women are telling you.
And introduction of the drug is not enough. Look at what they are saying. The next step is for the drug to be registered for general use in Sudan. It has to be registered for general use in Sudan, so everybody has to take it in Sudan. And Sudan, but the war is having devastating consequences, and the patients do not have access to the treatment they desperately need. This is what they are saying, but I've not had a Sudanese suffering from this, because we could have had it a long time ago, and we could even have known these disease like that.
The melanin in it, like the melanin in it, the dark melanin in it. How could they be just having weak immune system just like that? But personally, I disagree with all this. I'd say you as Sudan people should be very conscious. You are being attacked left, right, and center. There's literally a lot of destruction, which you can be easily convinced into this. There's now an outbreak, or because there's 1, 2, 3, you know, of all this coming in and out. You need to be very, very conscious. Again, you should not, like I said, this is the thing I was discussing on Wednesday and yesterday, where we've had these synthetic drugs. You're there having a headache, and instead of you literally getting relief out of it, you're gonna end up like they're saying they have side effects, fewer side effects. Despite it all, it's still a side effect. What if it ends up becoming even much more worse? Because mimi mwana mtu amedhurua na dawa, and it's really, it can even get super crazy. Super crazy.
We have people who are addicted to preventatives medicine. I don't know why. Painkillers. We have people who are addicted to painkillers. You know, sometimes I find it very hard for me to go to a pharmacy to buy a medicine which I know I don't need. Maybe I'm having a headache. I'm always procrastinating on taking medicines for headaches, because this is just normal. Maybe it was temperatures that were high, you know, and you just need a lot of water in your body. But at the end of the day, you find that now people are getting used to these things, or they're getting addicted to painkillers, because they have normalized. When I have a headache, I rush to the pharmacy. And you know, these pharmaceuticals, sometimes they set up these medicines in a way that you get addicted to them. You like, whenever you feel like, even it's not a headache, whenever you have a feeling like you're going to have a headache, you just rush to the pharmacy and get Maramoja.
I've never seen anyone who's, okay, maybe I have, but gee, that is an addiction. I've seen someone who's so reliant on medicines, like
it's an addiction.
Akisikia macho inauma ashakimbililia, hata kucha ikiuma ashakimbia hosi. Like, I don't know if that is an addiction.
It's always an addiction. Lakini si hosi. Me, I have seen people who, like, kichwa kiuma kidogo ama akifikiria kichwa itamuuma, they even have painkillers in their houses.
I mean, I do have painkillers for me too, just in case, because me mtu atakuja hapa niambie Jobi uko na mara moja, I'll give it out. Sometimes I think it is also good to have, you know, just have prevention in case of anything, because this body. I don't believe in keeping painkillers at my house, because no, I don't believe in that, and I cannot. You will not find painkillers at my house. You'll only find medicine that I know I need, not painkillers, because I'm not
I'm not waiting for a headache somewhere. I'm not waiting for some pain somewhere. So we have people who, these medicines sometimes they are made in a way that now once you start taking mara moja, you find that people who always like, siwezi kunywa Panadol, it's always mara moja. Siwezi kunywa mara moja, it's always Panadol. I've seen people like that. Ati, me mara moja doesn't work for me. Me Panadol doesn't work for me because mara moja has a lot of aspirin, of which you get addicted to. The aspirin is so dangerous in your body. You get addicted to it, and then now after that, every time you feel pain, you want that aspirin. It's an addiction. It gets to like it gets to go well with your body done, and right now they are about to put a measure where every Sudanese will be able to take the dosage, because there is an outbreak of a certain disease called mycetoma, if I'm reading it correctly, because that is a scientific name that I don't even know the origin. But anyway, still on Sudan, we know what a lot is happening in Sudan. It's like there is a silent genocide that is happening in Sudan, and so many people are internally displaced to a point that they cannot put food on their tables. And right now, these people are depending on aid. Most of them are in camps. They are living in camps because they have been displaced, especially those people who are living in Khartoum. They have been internally displaced and they are depending for aid. But right now it's getting very hard for them to get this aid, because remember, Khartoum is one of the most affected areas by the violence that is still continuing, and there was some part in the outskirts of Khartoum that was recently overtaken by the RSF. And right now, funding constraints and raising humanitarian needs could force the UN's World Food Program to halt assistance to more than 1 million people in Chad, many whom have fled the conflict in Sudan, the UN says. Sudan's 7-month civil war between the army and paramilitary rapid support forces has forced more than 6 million to flee their homes. Some of those have left their country, including 450,000 who have crossed into neighboring Chad, according to the UN's refugee agency. And it's so crazy that now these people are Sudanese people in Chad, and they are considered as refugees, where nobody wants to see you closer to their homes, even begging for water. So these people are depending on aid that is being brought by the UN, but the UN are saying that they are not able to feed these people. But remember, also the UN, when it comes to the UN, it's their aim. They'll come try to tell you, we're giving you aid, and it's always maize. I keep on asking my people, why do these people, it's always aid, it's always aid, and it's always maize? Why is it always maize and porridge flour?
They don't give better food.
It's always maize.
Ayo.
Ask refugees. They are always given maize and porridge flour. I don't understand, how am I supposed to take a porridge and ugali together? Too much starch
in the body.
It doesn't even go together.
Again, it's still back revolving on the same situation. War, destruction, displacement of the people. Hegelian dialectic, I call it. Shout out to Kit for teaching me the word. It's an Hegelian dialectic. They can't distract you, wait for your reaction, which is the, displacement of the people, then come claiming they want to fund you aid, they want to give you or rather find solution for the country. This is the same thing that is affecting us literally in 3 parts of the continent: Ethiopia, Sudan, and Congo, DRC Congo, all 3 parts of Congo, all 3 parts of Ethiopia, and all parts of Sudan, no matter how divided it is, the south, the north, whatever you want to call it. We need to be very woke again. Actually, when these people bring aid, we should say no. Where are the men to fight? Okay? Where is the military of the country? Oh,
the military is actually fighting with the RSF, and what is happening in Sudan, I think the RSF has more power because they are being powered. They are coming with strong weaponry. Yeah, and they are able to now attack the general or the army, the Sudanese army, because we don't have strong armies in Africa.
Where is
And
Kenya?
Mhm.
Because remember, actually, when the war in Sudan began, Ruto was the first person to speak. He went ahead and said, oh, whatever is happening, blah blah blah. Alikuwa tuna kitu ya kusema, and even called for ceasefire. You know, Ruto, our very dear own Ruto. It wasn't, no, it wasn't Ruto or Uhuru Kenyatta. It was actually Uhuru. He was the one to go and have talks,
initiate the talks.
Yeah, in terms of ceasing fire. This is super crazy. We can see there's nothing that has happened.
When Ruto talked, we were attacked.
Exactly. When Ruto talked, we were attacked. So
Yeah.
it's super insane. This needs to stop. If African leaders are meant to work together, we should see the motion happening. But because this is not what is really meant to happen, it is up to us to seek revolution. It is up to us to just say no. It is up to us to actually invade in these other countries, crying for help. Because we do need help. We do need, because akuna venye me I'll be attacked and I see for real Kenya is collapsing, bombs left, right, and I choose to stick here. You mad? I'm gonna go to Tanzania.
Of course.
I don't care if you really you think I don't belong here. I'm gonna seek my chance there.
But the UN is saying to ensure continued support to crisis-affected populations in Chad over the next 6 months, the WFP urgently requires $185 million, say the UN Secretary General's deputy spokesperson Farhan Haq. And now, to a point that they are saying they need this amount of money. Who is coming to the rescue? Of course, it is African countries. You will be told, you guys, do you know that your fellow neighbors are fighting and they are in crisis and they need food? So you need to donate. You need to donate, and African countries are ready to donate when it comes to other foreign nations. But when it comes to African countries, we are never there, because when we saw South Africa sending aid
to
Palestine, have we seen aid coming to Sudan?
No.
Have we seen aid coming to Congo? No, we have not seen aid coming to African countries, but we are ready to help other white people. But it is so crazy because the UN needs money from us, of course. This is why it is announcing this. Or maybe this money will be given by the IMF, will be given by the World Bank. And remember, now this will be given in terms of a debt. And the debt will be counted under who?
Us.
Not even us, it will be Sudan. The water,
just generally
Africa,
that's the same thing they do all over.
The water on Sudan will be given a debt of its refugees that are outside its country to feed them. And sometimes they even don't ask. They just give you money, or the UN comes and say, we received money from the IMF to feed the refugees in Chad, and that goes to a loan in Sudan, and that is Sudan to pay.
The presidents are to blame again, because again is the president of Sudan. That guy.
Salva Kiir.
The one who peed himself.
Salva Kiir.
The one who peed himself. Yeah, I know him like that. I know him like that. Don't come for me. We're just talking about what we saw on the television, on the internet, and that's what's up. You are to blame, because again, African people are suffering because there's someone who is in charge. There's someone who can make an order.
The one who peed on himself is Salva Kiir. That is for South Sudan, and the Sudanese is Abdel Fattah.
Oh, okay.
Fattah.
Okay. So you are to blame, my guy. Your people are suffering, and there's nothing you've chosen to do. You're literally choosing just war and war and war. What is it that the US really wants from Sudan? That is one thing we need to question ourselves. Because all this war and funding of the war, because there's funding of it. When you talk about the aid, that is part of the funding. When you talk about where we've seen different types of weapons being used that the military of Sudan cannot be able to acquire, that is another funding. When we see the displacement of the people, then there's a rescue, we need to take you to Rwanda for asylums. That is again the same bullshit. We need to be very, very woke again, African people. I don't know how. I really don't know how, but Africa needs to wake up.
And I believe if these people really needs aid, it is supposed to come from Africa, and it is supposed to be sent by these African puppets.
Yeah, remember, there is a time Ruto did send sacks of maize to Somali.
Yeah, was it Somali? It was somewhere that they had an earthquake.
No, it was first Somali.
Okay.
First it was Somali. The time they sent like literally lots of maize, and at that time Kenya, the northern part of Kenya, was suffering due to hunger, drought. And
they even opened a till number.
Exactly. If you're willing to contribute and all that, do this and this. But it's crazy to see that such kind of things. That was good, I'm not gonna lie. But before you even move to your neighbor, solve the problems in your country. That's the same thing we keep on saying. We see these people always rushing out. It's good to see when African nations actually raise up and being able to help each other. I'm not gonna be in denial of that. But have you been able to tackle the same problems you have in your household before you go fix your neighbor's house? That is the question. So for Sudan, actually, we do have a potential if they were able to talk to Niger, because you can see Niger is growing agriculturally. This is in terms of economy. That is what is making the country prosper right now. And I believe they could be able to trade, or literally Niger, even without trading. I believe Niger is willing to help. But who are we approaching in terms of help? Because we're talking, we've seeked the true democracy. These are fake democracy that you can see that has generated to these wars just because we won't do and agree to what
Africa for aid to the white man. They always want to send aid to us because they know that we depend on them, and most of the time you find that this maize is coming from Africa. It's taken to remember there was this store, what was the name of this store? The Doomsday Store, where Africans send their seeds and they are stored by the white man. How do you trust a white man to keep you seeds while we know very well this person, if they go to drought, they will eat it all and let you die? Or if anything happens and the whole world is in a place that now it can't move and they need their seeds, they will eat all those seeds and let you die.
Because the first time I also read about it, I was also shocked, where we have so many African countries, which are actually usually the whole world, that is where they get to send their seeds, or in terms of hunger crisis, or in case of any catastrophe that shall happen in the future. Why are you trying to prophesy future crisis? How comes Africa needs to save its own food from not the continent but outside? What happened to us Africans being able to store food for ourselves? Because I've grown up in agriculture again. We used to, people where they could have sacks of maize, mnapiga mahindi zikishakauka mnaeka kwa magunia, maharagwe, dengu, all those things. And you could find when it comes to times of drought, when farming literally is not active,
and those things, the seeds you store are the ones that you're going to use to plant again and get a good harvest. It doesn't make sense for Africans being dependent on the white man. But shout out to Andrew Robinson, karibu sana, long time. Where have you been? You told me, the last time I checked, you told me you're flying to Italy. But anyway, I hope you are good. I see Kidla is also with us. He's saying, me hua. Hey, please.
Me who are Trapper, namalizia my new EP. How can I get interview with you guys? Kindly do text us either on TikTok, DM us hapo kwa TikTok, ama kwa Instagram yetu under the Black Hot Fire Network. We have the 2541, and we also have ingine that has the bigger number. So DM us there. We will arrange an interview with you on the Vibe Show.
Yes, and kindly, before you tell even us anything else, kindly it's a hi your YouTube channel link, and then you can say the rest you want.
Yeah, because you won't be replying. Yeah, be very careful. Also, see, Andrew Robinson is saying that I am fishing in Italy right now. Wow, must be nice, man. You having the best time of your life. You're literally in the holiday time.
I told you, adopt me. Do you want to adopt a very, very grown-up girl? Yeah.
Literally in the, in that time. But anyway, karibu sana. We're discussing about the issues in Sudan. Let us know what you feel regarding the displacement of the people, and of course the aid. What are your thoughts regarding these African countries that keep on receiving aid despite the wars going on? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and as we get to continue to another different conversation, this is about Liberia's election, and we saw Boakai won against George Weah, and I'm seeing that now accusations are, or alleges are, it's Judge Ware didn't win the election because he was very corrupt. And if he was very corrupt, also Boakai is very corrupt. And I'm like, which criteria are you using? But it came to a time that now Liberia needed a new puppet. You cannot say that these people are not corrupt. They are all corrupt, and maybe one is more corrupt, but at the same time we know how Africa our elections are. So it was a new time, or it was a time for a new puppet. This is what I believe, because I don't believe that this person was more corrupt than the other. They are all corrupt, and if it is now helping the country, they will still do the same because they are put by the same person. But on January 22nd, that was in 2018, a cheering crowd welcomed George Ware to the Samuel K. Doe Sports Complex in Pennsylvania, outside Liberia's capital, Monrovia. But the man, once crowned the world's best footballer, was not there to add to his 75 matches for the Lone Star, Liberia's senior national football team. It was his inauguration as the West African nation's 25th president. Those present, like many Liberians, glued to television sets at home and in diaspora, were brimming with the hope and expected transformation that his presidency would bring, just as his football career had given them joy and pride. And this is the hope of all Africans. When we are electing, or when we have a new president in place, we all hope that this president will be the best for the country. We will see more positive, we will see more positive change in our country, and we will see the growth of our country. And now they love to compare now the president and the ex-president. It is my belief that most effective way to directly impact the poor and narrow the gap between rich and poor is to ensure that public resources do not end up in the pockets of the government officials. That was Ware saying during his inaugural address, and they always come with the same things, the same sentence. These people, it's like their speeches are written the same way. Their speeches are written by the same person and in the same way. And Ware had gone for a slum dweller in one of the poorest areas of one of the world's poorest countries, and to the only African winner of the Ballon d'Or, football's most coveted prize, and to Liberia's highest office. His election win made headlines across the world, and his inauguration speech seemed as convincing as his ball-striking prowess and had been. I further believe that the overwhelming mandate I have received from Liberian people is mandated to end corruption in public service. Ware told rapturous supporters, many of whom had survived corruption-fueled back-to-back civil wars in 1990s and 2000s, which killed more than 250,000 people. Almost 6 years on, Liberia's most famous citizen, dead or alive, has become unpopular to the point of losing the presidential vote to a man whom he defeated in 2017. And last week, it's always a person who had vied for the same seat. And last week, who is 57 years old, conceded a defeat to former Vice President Joseph Boakai, who is 78 years old, after a November 14th runoff. There are several reasons why voters denied Ware a second term, including his failure to establish a war crimes court for the country and the ripple effect of a drug epidemic. So these are some of the reasons they are giving. They didn't elect Ware for. And this is so crazy because, you know, now when you know how things run, you feel so sad for the people because they think we didn't elect him. We didn't elect him. You know, this person didn't work right for us, and this is why we didn't elect him again. And however, one of the issues stand out: corruption. it drove some of the biggest protests the country have seen since the end of Liberia's second civil war in 2003, where promised to weed out the menace of corruption. However, greed and graft have become the hallmarks of his presidency, said Robtal Paley, a Liberian academic, activist and author based in London. President Ware squandered practically every opportunity to score the country's most important goal of socio-economic transformation, just like Ruto is doing. He's taking every opportunity to raise taxes. He's even asking, so he's even asking Kenyans to suggest on ways we want to be taxed. This is insane. They are not sparing any opportunity to tax us. They even want to know our thoughts. Where have I where haven't I taxed? Where do you think that I need to tax?
I need to add more.
And for decades, Liberia has been ranked as one of the world's most corrupt countries, but the notoriety reached its lowest depths underwear. Since 2018, Liberia has averaged 29 points of its possible 100 of Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index. It is currently ranked 136 out of 180 in the 6 years before, where Liberia had averagely nearly 39 points. It is just crazy because one, I think these people are the same. When they get to that inauguration, their speeches are the same. I will do this. I will create employment. I will end poverty, I will lower the cost of living. But when they get there, they get to do the opposite. Yesterday, I was talking about the ex-president of Guinea, Alpha Conde. Alpha Conde, right now, he's being prosecuted of rape, assassination, murder, and treason. He's being investigated right now under treason. And I'm like, okay, if Alpha Conde is very guilty, of which he's very guilty because he caused mass protests that we saw huge numbers of people dying, and if this person is very guilty, of which he is, also all these puppets we have in Africa, they are also guilty. Look at Ruto. There was a time people demonstrated close to a whole month, and how many people died?
So many.
Actually,
it was from March to July.
So many people died after the whole demonstration. How many right now? How many people are? How many people? If we were to accuse these puppets for treason, how many are guilty?
So many.
All of them. They have been selling us out. And I was even giving an example. You remember when we had the COVID outbreak, and the kid actually said this. If these people, they allowed Kenyans or Africans to get the VACCINE, and after that, we had now the people who made it coming and saying that we didn't know it was right, and we didn't know that it was going to affect your bodies. And now, who is responsible for allowing so many people to take it and so many losing their lives? It is always them. So if they were to be charged by murder, that is also one. If they were to be charged by treason, right now, and what we are about to discuss, or our main focus of the day, is the Kenyan president looking forward to privatize 35 national companies or state companies. And now, what is he doing? He's selling out our assets without us knowing. He's selling the Kenyan assets, and this is betraying his country or betraying his citizens. So, isn't that treason? It is. So, if these people were to be taken to court, all of them, they are all guilty, and they belong to the prisons, all of them, And at the end of the day, I believe African puppets are groomed to be the same, all of them. You'll never hear a speech without them promising, I will do this, I will do this within this time of, or within this period of time, I will do this. But come back and check within that period of time.
I love relating with something again I used to hear kids say a lot of times, and it used to make me very mad. You know, where Africans are children, like mentally, Africans are morons, African puppets, nobody listens to them. Especially on that part, I never used to think it's true until I saw Tinubu in the UN National Assembly meeting, and nobody was paying attention. But this guy, mind you, is reading a speech. So who's conducting? How can you prepare a whole speech that nobody's paying attention to? So one, meaning that these speeches are not made actually by them. They are already like, already. We don't need to listen to this. We just need it for the clout, okay? For the mainstream media, for your country, for your people to believe you didn't just come and waste money for these trips, because you're gonna be accused. Your people are watching, okay? So I think that is one of the things. All the speeches, all the puppets, like you said, are groomed the same. And what I'd say for Liberia, personally, I was surprised. I didn't expect Joseph Boakai to win. I was not, because I've been following the election since the 10th of October. I didn't expect he's gonna win. I thought actually George Weah, since he's a little bit younger than Joseph Boakai, I thought he's gonna be selected because he still have a longer period of, you know, serving the country, him being a puppet and all that. So to my utter shock is something else I'm not understanding. Why do they pick the old ones?
Doesn't make sense.
That's just something that is also still I'm still trying to figure out, and of course I'll find answers probably. Why do they pick the old ones? Because Joseph Boakai, I'm trying to measure Kagame Museveni type of period when they started, and right now their age gap, and for how long they have served the international communities and countries, and now they've been able to deliver, and that's why they are in power, because they've been delivering. So how comes George Weah, being younger than Joseph Boakai, is the one who lost? It's still not adding up there. I don't know what is really going on in Liberia, but for sure we can say don't hope for no change, because we cannot be selecting the same old people who have no visions, because tunaongelea mtu ashaishi maisha yake. We're talking about people who already have their children, who have their grandchildren. These are people who are literally living their last pages of their lives, and which they know hata nikadedi sai still my country, despite me being selected by those who selected me, my country is still gonna, my people are gonna still, my family is gonna be getting the money I'm supposed to be getting. It's a continuous generational wealth because I already secured the seat. That's just basically how I see it. Otherwise, or nonetheless, I don't see any change for Liberia. Same complaints we had before the election is the same complaints you'll see even in the next coming years. I think they go to the polls after every 2 years, yeah? That's Liberia. After every 2 years.
For real, I don't know.
Because Joseph Boakai was appointed in not 2 years, but 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021.
Let me see.
2020, 6 years.
I believe it's longer than that. Let me check.
Really, it should be. I think it should be 5 or 6 years. Yeah, but people have been complaining, and we're gonna see what Joseph Boakai is gonna do. But the age for me is something to be just worried about. I do not trust the age gap. For me, yeah, age is just a number, but yeah, it's just a number indeed. You know.
Okay, it's a 6-year term.
A 6-year term.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was wrong. I was correct. It is from 2018, because he was appointed in 2018 and he has withdrawn this year. So 6 years of literally serving people, and there's nothing you've delivered. Same old roads that were found there is the ones ameacha. Same old undealt and unkept schools, the same situation Liberians have been left with. And it's a copy and paste where Africans for so long since we claimed independence, we literally think talking about each country as having 60, I think to call 60 something. Kila country.
65.
Kuna wenye wako 50, kuna wenye wako 60, kuna wenye Sudan, I think it's the lowest because they just gained independence just super recently. But basically,
it's crazy. It is always crazy. And I think about the age, maybe this man had to rule. They had promised him something,
Probably.
They had promised him.
The last time in 2018 when he lost Alikuwa
he had to rule. Maybe they owed him something, and he had to rule.
So that's that tell us that also Raila is gonna be given a chance?
I don't know. I don't know about Raila, but maybe Raila.
Joseph Boakai, because me, I don't understand why he choose the
For Raila, we are not sure. Maybe he's fake.
Let's wait and see.
Maybe the future is not bright for him. But anyway, we were talking about Boakai, and this reminded me of a certain speech. I shared once time right here on the African Diary show of Museveni talking ill about Idi Amin, and he said that it was very wrong of Idi Amin chasing the Indians out of Uganda, and he said that he chased the Indians out of Uganda and stole their property.
What?
And he said that you are actually welcome back to come and invest. I can share that video
kindly, because what properties do Indians have? Let's start from there. Just question number one.
So it's a sure deal.
This is the most populated country worldwide, if I'm not wrong. Is it India? Worldwide?
Yeah.
And still the most poorest. So these people, what I basically actually discovered yesterday, why people are coming to Africa. They can get the money to come to Africa, that's for sure. They can get the money to come to Africa, but they are coming here as opportunists.
Opportunists.
Yeah? They're here to seek opportunities, literally. They come here, like we've had the cases of sex exploitation on children. What is that all about? Making money. Because why not make money in your country and come to Africa to make money of such kind of videos? Why not use Chinese children or maybe your type of children? Why come to just Africa? I've come to discover literally Africa is full of opportunities, and because we see it and think these people are our heroes and they have been part of our history in terms of what we've been lied to, and this is why they come easily and can literally walk away as billionaires, because we give them the chance just super easily. But you can share the video.
Yeah, let me share it.
And this is why it makes sense why Museveni, the article we were reading 2 weeks ago on the Africa Today show about where there's actually some Ugandans who are still seeking a way how they can change the narrative that has been imposed on Idi Amin, because it's always negative.
Yeah, it's always negative. And also the people were looking forward even to have a memorial site that always remembers about Idi Amin, but the national government will not allow this. He actually trashes Idi Amin. Let me share this video real quick so that you get to hear. It was on the 7th minute. I even marked it.
Excuse me.
Well, yeah. Our diseases. These countries like South Korea. South Korea was much poorer than many of the African countries. But because our leaders made a mistake on the issue of the private sector, starting with Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, then our other leaders here, they confiscated private property. They were calling it nationalization. Many people outside don't know why Africa has lagged behind. This was one of the main reasons.
You are part of the reason.
You can imagine here in Uganda, we had our Indians.
What?
Indian people.
What? Our Indians? Since when did Africans have, I mean, we did have black Indians, but our Indians, the ones that Idi Amin chased, are not our very own.
They were actually Asians.
God.
You can imagine here in Uganda, we had our Indians, Indian people who had come from India and become Ugandan. And they were very active. You know, our Indian people are very active in business.
What?
But one of our leaders, Idi Amin, chased them and stole their property.
Indians are not active. I'm not gonna judge. I've not worked in an Indian company, but I've had a friend who's worked in an Indian company. The experience is not nice. This is not just a story.
They will mistreat you.
Exactly. They're using Africans to
wanatoanga Africans kafara. In that site, if you go to their sites, if you work, so many people die. so many people die
I
in the
don't know
side
about that.
before it gets complete.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but Indians are not active. That is not true. They are here to make Africans their slave and make money in Africa.
Why was he chasing these people? They were working for the country
Wow.
in an area where the African Ugandans were not active, because the African Ugandans were in crops,
We have African Ugandans nowadays.
What?
in livestock, in fishing, but not in business. They were not active in business. And these Indians were active there. And Idi Amin chased them. But when we came, we brought them back. I don't know whether there are some who are here. Our returnee Indians, did they come? Who is here? Come and we
This
see
man
the
is
returnee.
very dumb.
Come and we see how he looks like.
What? Even the crowd is laughing. What he looks like. We need to see what an Indian looks like.
This is just a young boy. Maybe the parents, your parents are the ones who came back.
Yes, Your Excellency. My grandmother is from Bombo. My father is born in Bombo also. So
Yes.
we came back after you called us.
Your father is still alive?
Yes, my father is still alive.
How old is he?
He's 75 now, Your Excellency.
What business were they doing before they were chased?
They were doing beer trading, Your Excellency.
They were doing
Trading.
It's always alcohol and the bad things.
We are trading. Do you know how much of the money that is? And the way I've had Ugandans party like no money. Yo, you joking.
Trading in Nakaseke areas.
Retail.
Retail.
Oh, okay. So all those were chased, but we brought them back because it was a big mistake.
What? This is such a shame, man.
By 1980.
This is why Africa is considered weak, and this is why freedom is hard to seek. This is why you see Niger is gonna be fought, Burkina Faso and Mali, because of this kind of situations that have appeared before. We have weak leaders. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. We have people who are literally just speaking weak about us and our culture instead of protecting it, protecting the history, protecting and speaking the truth out of every history. It's always just lies around it. This is so sad. This is why the West and every part of, literally every person who's living in Africa, the continent, you are African. Leave alone the Indians who are
Ugandan Indians.
citizenship and everything, you know, Ugandan Indians and Kenyan Indians, because we do have them now in Kenya. This is the reason why we're considered weak, because if the person who's supposed to be strong for you talks so weak like this, what do you expect?
It is so crazy. And when I heard this talk, I was like, what?
And you seek not to love Museveni. I mean, you seek not to. This is why I say that pay Museveni to just make me laugh.
Museveni is a funny creature. He's a cartoon. He's a cartoon on his own, you know. And now, you know, Auntie, why would he do that? He and he insists on Idi Amin chased the Indians and he stole their properties.
It's a lie.
Imagine, Auntie, he stole their properties. Why would you even try to give a very bad reputation of a person we know that was working really right for the people of
gave
Africa.
Them time for them to live. Like, you know, pack your things by this and this. You should be gone. You should literally leave. Have you seen us Africans how we're being chased away outside the continent like no man's business? You know, nobody cares where you're gonna be sleeping, whether in the streets. We've seen it right now. What literally migrants are going through in the New York streets and everywhere in Canada. Come on.
Right now, the Indians are actually everywhere. I've seen in the what do we call this? The Middle East. They are actually one of the biggest number of the people who are working there.
Wow.
We have Africans, yes, but Indians are leading to work there as slaves. But anyway, away from
So
that,
they're poor.
they are
So
very
these
poor.
guys should not even have the audacity to say, Sijri, our very own Indians were very active.
Indians are poor. They are very, very, very poor. So this is why they are coming to work as slaves in the Middle East. They are very poor. And you know, it's only in Africa where we accept them and enable them to grow. Because in the Middle East, they are going to work as slaves. In some countries, in some other countries, and in the European countries, not most of them are accepted there. But you find that now in the Middle East, because they want slaves, you go there, you work as their slaves, just like the way you're seeing Africans going to the Middle East. And it is only in Africa where you find that we are so accommodating to a point that we're letting the Indians settle. We are accepting them as one of our communities in Africa. And also, we are even expanding and letting them expand their cultures and communities in Africa. It is only in Africa. You'll not find them in other continents. If you find them there, they are slaves. They are working as slaves.
Spread the message and the awareness of what is really happening in your country and the true facts and the lies that are being spread, because it's a lot, trust me. It's really, really a lot. What is happening in Uganda, I think in East Africa, I think Uganda ndo iko chini sana.
Hey, Uganda is doing the worst.
But I think personally, just assuming in East Africa, I think Uganda is the worst performing.
No, we have a country like Burundi.
Is it really worst performing?
Burundi is very bad. This is why we have Burundians everywhere in Kenya. And there are actually so many Burundians in Uganda as well. They pass through Uganda to come to Kenya. And this is why we even have a 14-year-old boy who is Burundian hawking peanuts in the streets of Nairobi. So in Burundi, Burundi is a very war-torn country. Their currency is very low. Somebody told me that
the nail guy.
Yeah, he told me that 1 Kenyan shillings is equals to, I don't know how many, perhaps 100 or 1,000 or 2,000. I don't know how much money, but anyway, I'll get to check. It is crazy. Their currency is very, very low. But they even told me there to buy a car, you only need 100,000 Kenyan shillings. And you have a very, very good machine in Burundi.
For real?
Yeah, this is what he said. I'm not sure about that because I've never been there. And this is what he said. But anyway, moving away from that, let's get to Niger. And I'm seeing the government of Niger is asking court to force ECOWAS to lift coup sanctions. And I'm like, you don't need ECOWAS. You've started to grow on your own feet. Let them sanction you. They'll get tired of this. You don't have to beg them to lift the sanctions, because right now we are seeing you doing very well. You have started even doing trade with everybody, and it's the country itself is growing. So I don't think these people need ECOWAS, and I don't think they even need the sanctions lifted, because at the end of the day we see that trade is already happening within these countries. They are already trading within themselves. And at the end of the day, it is them controlling their economy. And once the ECOWAS lifts the sanctions, they will want to be part of it, And the ECOWAS is not set for any good for African countries. So at the end of the day, I don't think it is very right for even ECOWAS to lift the sanctions. Let the sanctions stay there. Just learn to trade within your own countries, within the African brothers and sisters. But anyway, I see Niger's military government on Tuesday asked the West Africa Regional Court to order the lifting of sanctions imposed on the country by its neighbors following a July coup that deposed elected President Mohamed Bazoum. And some of these countries are not even helpful. A country like Nigeria will add more problems to you than it will help you.
They were against them.
These people are like your enemies. They came against you. They even switched off the lights for your country. So tell me, why are you begging them to open up the sanctions for you or markets for you? I don't think you need them. You need the Nigerians, of course, but you don't need its government to trade with them. You can trade within the Nigerians, but not now the president and the government. And there is no sector of the Nigerian society that has not been affected by these sanctions, which have caused in one of the world's poorest countries, Kali Ayaye, one of the government lawyers, argued about hearing Abuja, Nigeria's capital. And after a group of soldiers calling itself the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland toppled Bazoum, a raft of economic sanctions were imposed by the Economic Community of West African States. Other countries, including the United States, that had provided aid for health, security, and infrastructure needs also suspended their support. And it's okay. You don't need the US. Right now you're working with Russia, and we said if you want help, stick with the one person, because you know where we go wrong as Africans, we need help from every person. And you know, sometimes this help is not coming as help. They need something in return. How are you able to repay all of them back if you need them, all of them? You just need to stick with one so that you can be able to repay them. Just like the way we have loans coming from the Chinese, the IMF, the World Bank. We don't need all of that. If we're taking loans from the Chinese, let's stick with the Chinese, because we can negotiate on ways of payment. But imagine you've taken a loan from the Chinese, you've taken the IMF, you've taken the World Bank, and they all need to be paid at the same time. How will you come to an understanding that you will be able to pay them? Some of them might get angry and start taking your resources, and this is what is happening in Africa. We are putting ourselves in a fix that we are not able to get ourselves out. So I don't think the United States needs to lift the sanctions for Niger.
This is why I
provide help.
The question which you questioned: what's the direction of this military militants? You know, in all of the three countries, that is something that needs to be questioned. But I agree with you, because the same thing I questioned about them allowing humanitarian aid last week again on Friday. We saw Niger accepting humanitarian aid from the UN. And this is crazy, because there's no way you're gonna be having people demonstrating for 4 days. You know, they have been helping, especially the power of the people. Where the power of the people actually has applied, I think it's very disrespectful. You trying to go back from what the people did help you to get yourself out of. The problem majority of the time is always when you don't have the power of the people. But Niger had the militant, literally the junta, had a serious support from the people. So at this point, you cannot say, oh, I have no direction, because the people don't even, they do. They are there and they are willing. And they understand that there's been no help from these people every single time. If this is what we're going to be having again, civilians being killed once you accept sanctions being lifted, been unlifted, this is what we're going to be allowing again destruction of schools, which they have already been spreading the lies on the media, saying that Niger is heavily distracted because of the coup that happened. Children can no longer go to school. Children can no longer go to school when we have terrorists and, you know, who are the same people who are coming to help us. That is what we're dealing with. So Niger, actually, I don't know what's the direction, but I've seen that after, I think that was on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
That he did all that. I've seen that yesterday the junta himself did go to Mali and Burkina Faso in the first foreign trip, and they're saying that Niger military's ruler General Tiani on Thursday, which is yesterday, with his counterparts in Mali and Burkina Faso in his first international visit since seizing power in July. Niger's neighbors Mali and Burkina Faso, which are ruled by military leaders who seized power in 2020 and 2022 respectively, have pledged solidarity with Niger coup's leader. And Tiani arrived in Burkina Faso yesterday evening for a friendship and working visit with the Captain Ibrahim Traoré, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Traoré. They said that the pair discussed issues common to both countries, in particular the fight against terrorism and socio-economic development. In Bamako earlier this day, he had thanked his Malian counterpart, Colonel Assim Goita, for the support of and determination of the Malian authorities and people to work with the authorities and people of Niger wherever the obstacles. The three Sahel countries in September signed a pact that includes provision for the mutual defenses in the event of an attack, and a sovereignty and territorial integrity. This is something amazing again. So the confusion comes in, why is it that we already have unity as 3 countries, which we've seen, and one African country cannot be able to move if there's lack of support within the continent. We have 3 unity, supported by Russia with weapons and everything we require. So what is it that you're seeking again? Why not talk to Russia? Why not still try find a way, like we said, you know, how you can deal with a better ally who, at the end of the day, you need to be very conscious how you're gonna pay back. Because yesterday we saw Mali also did sign a deal with Russia, and this is them building a processing industry of gold, and this is something positive, like I reported yesterday. This is something super dope. But how are you gonna pay back? What is Russia literally seeking for in Mali? Yes, they're gonna build a gold refinery, but what again? How again are we gonna pay back? Are we gonna be in debt? Is it gonna cost our lives? Is it gonna cost lands? Is it gonna cost the same gold? How is it we're gonna pay? So we need to be very careful. At one, Nigeria, Niger and Mali and Burkina Faso juntas to be very careful.
Yeah, they need to be careful, because at the end of the day, and sometimes I even, you know, the same question I asked, and I keep on asking myself, sometimes you're seeing the way things are going, they are going very smoothly for Burkina Faso and Niger. So what makes them think that we still need aid from these people? Again, you chase them away, but right now you feel like you need them.
That's actually gonna start decolonizing or destabilizing the economy. It's not decolonizing.
Exactly.
It's gonna start again destabilizing the economy, because it's why you've lost direction and dropped everything you've started just building, and now start relying on someone and become literally lazy. Because I think personally it promotes laziness of the African development.
It's like you're creating enmity, and then you want to reconcile it again, and which doesn't work. You know, it will never work, because remember these people. I saw the French ambassador saying that Niger, you will regret. So if they are coming back, they are coming to destroy you. They will come to destroy you.
And you need to be prepared.
Yeah.
Russia's already offered weapons.
Yeah.
I mean. So
you
know. I think they should be prepared. Yeah, at this point, I don't know what it's not Traore, but the Niger junta is literally seeking for. So.
Yeah, they need to stay prepared, and also they need to stay woke, because at the end of the day, we cannot keep on congratulating you for all you've done, for all the revolution, and we thought it was a very good start and it was going well, and then right now we're seeing you needing your enemies. You know, we don't want to see that. But anyway, as we get to continue, you can as well let us know what you think about that. And Joby, you can go through the comments please on TikTok.
Yeah, I see that is Andrew Robinson. He was speaking about Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo. I don't know what Nana, we've not spoken about Ghana literally, but
we are about to talk about Ghana.
Okay, let me check the comments just a little bit.
Okay.
He also spoke about Liberia President being, you know, the how is it? Liberia is a U.S. outpost. That is what he said in Africa. And you see, like the Ghanaian president Nana Akufo told the U.S. president speeches. What speeches? These people, there's no speeches they make. We need, I don't know. With even these speeches they share, which are super positive. Sidui. Oh, we need reparations. That is among the things we were discussing last week, where we saw Ghana is seeking reparations and asking all the Caribbean countries as well to come and help tag along with Africans and seek reparations. But the question is the reparations going to go to the people, or is it going to go to the pocket of you and the people who have helped you get the reparations? Is it going to serve the people who seek freedom and whose lands are still yet being fought for? Because an example is where we saw, I shared a video of people from I think it was in Kiambu, I can't remember Missouri, but it was in some part of Kenya, where we had people or Mama fighters who wrote the letter to Britain, and the letter was responded back with funds, but Ruto has never given these funds till to date. So come on, there's no speeches. Personally, I've said be very careful also as you listen to those speeches, because 1 minute they're confusing you, thinking, oh, they have spoken, finally someone is making sense, but at the end of the day, you're still in power. making the same goddamn decision. So no.
Yeah.
I also see we have Sijui and Ajita Colonel. I'll just say that. Michael is saying Blackout Fire. Yeah, Wagwan, Karibu Sana. And to everyone with us on TikTok. Nimecheki pia kuna msako anasema Emanueli Saseni wa Super Nyeri iko live.
Thank you. And as we still continue with Ghana, since you've mentioned Ghana, Ghana has unveiled a 46-day visa on arrival window for Christmas visitors. And I'm like, 46 days? 46 days! Okay, it's okay, but if this is for Christmas, I think this is supposed to work for Wazungus, because for Africans we need free. We need a.
Do you know actually? Do you know I discovered most Black Americans can't afford a passport.
Yeah, I bet it's expensive for them, or what is it?
I don't know, but it's something we've been discussing, and we've seen literally. I think most of the videos I've watched of also. A dude, we've shared his video. He was in Tanzania, then came to Kenya, and he was giving his thoughts. How they call?
Is it a passport or a visa?
Passports. Getting a passport. Most of the Black American people don't have passports.
What is the price too high for the passports? Or
yeah.
Damn.
I
thought Kenya was the highest. I thought Kenya was doing the worst.
Apparently, majority of the Black American people don't have passports. So you tell me even about a visa. That's why you see actually coming to Africa, most people, you know, it's very hard. And also the notion of which Africa's been, you know, it's poor, children, I don't know, wakona mainzi and all that. So most people just have a negative thought about it.
They don't want to come to Africa.
Manze. But that is good. Shout out to Nana Akufo-Addo. He's doing it again. But why won't he bus? So this guy's talking about reparations. Before we even move to him telling people to come for 46 days for Christmas. 46 days. For
free
Christmas.
visa.
Free visa. Okay, fine. You should also put a free passport in it. Just come with your identification card. That's it. So that should be just enough.
And this should be going to all Africans. But if you're living abroad, you need a passport.
All the African Americans. So Nana Akufo-Addo, this is the time he told African Americans actually to come back. The Ghanaians, the people who come from the ancestral land of Ghana, come back and start building. And that has happened. We've seen that happening.
But Ghana is so hostile.
But what happened is that after these people got the lands, wame settle, all the houses were demolished.
Yeah.
So where's the reparation, baby?
These people they don't want their own.
Like you're talking about reparations for history.
Have you ever had in some villages uwezi omoka na uende ujenge uko? You cannot like get to, maybe in some villages you see just like the way we came to Nairobi to hustle, and then we get rich in Nairobi. So I go and buy a piece of land maybe in the village and try to build it. Those people will come against me. Have you ever had such places?
No.
There are some places that even I've seen a man confessing on social media that his village he cannot go even wearing a suit.
That's jealousy.
Yeah, there's such places. So he does this. He's driving a very expensive car. Anaendanga anaiwacha karibu na city ya kwao, and anaiwacha mahali. He changes. Hata akona pesa. He changes even his clothes. He wear a very
that's a very unpeaceful life, because I think once you build a home, that is you seeking freedom, especially from you paying rent, freedom from you just disturbing kusumbwana na watu hata majirani. So to the point where you get in a land, then you still have to live so uncomfortable because you have to please the society.
This man has not even built there because he understands his community. So he's going to visit his parents, but he cannot go looking good. He cannot go driving. That village, actually, people are very jealous.
So as you are, if possible. But the notion I've had is where you can't go back. I know in Africa, you can't go back to Jenga kwenu, because kuna watoto wako na wivu. Naturally, like we just have people who don't want to see the children of others succeeding because your children have succeeded. Ako like ona mtoto ule anajifanyanga. Like kuna hizo vitu. It's blessings, but people will start picking it like, you know, oh, sijui nini. So it starts pumping up, and it becomes super very uncomfortable. But Yo, hapana. Me used to just kia. I think
Imagine
that is the
it's
worst.
there's a man who was confessing
That
on
is like a
social
xenophobia.
media. He's very rich in Nairobi, but when he gets to his place or to his mom's village, he's very poor.
That is like xenophobia you're talking about then, where your people are literally discriminating you because of the wealth you have.
It's not xenophobia.
Yeah, some kama xenophobia unitaki hapa.
No, that is not the definition of xenophobia, Joby. And you know, these people are just jealous. Have you seen communities that are so jealous that they don't want people to prosper in life?
Xenophobia first.
Let's get the correct
meaning.
Because
I want to understand. Why don't you want me in the same community? What makes us so different? And why are you envying my prosperity, literally? What is... Mr. Jaiski, I know, I'm literally shocked, but...
Xenophobia is dislike of people from different countries.
That's how it sounds. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like that.
You know, you're from the same
country, but you don't want me in this community.
You're just jealous and you're full of hatred, and maybe you see these people, you know, jealous people are always envious, and they are, you know, one thing about jealous people, they are threatened by your success.
Triggered.
Yeah, they are always triggered by your success. So they envy your life, but since they are not getting there, they have to do something about it. They get jealous, and you know, there's positive jealousy, of course, and there's negative jealousy. I believe in positive. There's positive jealousy. So these people are negatively jealous, and once it gets to that point, they want to destroy you. So you cannot go show them that you're doing well in life.
So bad.
Yeah,
if this is too bad to live in, it is happening in my own country.
It does.
To Kai, I'm super shocked.
Does.
And if you're outside there and you're facing this kind of a situation, actually, hama bro, if possible, actually uza your keja, okay? Sell it if possible, and move away to somewhere where you have peace. Cause sielewi mbona nijenge boma, then nenda mahali eti I have to change my whole lifestyle just because people are thinking negative of me or have some sort of... Come on, you go
if
to
you
hell.
go with that car there, the next day it's crashing and it's done to a point that you can't make it again, you know.
You are the low life, and don't like maskini kwako.
Hello to you too, General Mosquito. Where is General Mosquito?
I see General Mosquito in the building on both TikTok, Karibu Sana. I see also on Mr. Blackwoodfire TikTok. You're saying hello to you too. You're saying, Katie, what do you mean Ghana is so hostile? Look how kind and polite I am respectful.
Have you lived in Ghana? I'm talking about now Ghanaians who are there. Like, who lives in Ghana? These people are born and they only know Ghana. They don't know other countries. They just know they exist, but they live there. Have you seen, like, the way you're saying that they demolished people's houses? Because they are feeling, it's jealousy, of course. They are feeling threatened.
For that, I remember, General Mosquito, if you can remember the video we shared one time on the Africa Today show of a video of the Ghanaian, the black Americans who went to Ghana and built houses, and then the government actually was the one that demanded, so it was not the people. This is why I'm shocked that we do have in communities.
I also have seen in the same country in Ghana where communities are coming to demolish your house or steal from your house. This is
stupidity of the highest level. I mean, yo.
It's crazy with people. General Scooter, you're saying jealous people want your neck, Jerry.
That's so sad.
Go to hell.
That's so sad.
But anyway, moving on to different matters. This is about Zimbabwe, and also when you talk about Zimbabwe, let's talk about Madagascar as well, because it is close to the same thing I want to talk about. It's the extreme drought, the extreme temperatures. And this also, I've seen warnings coming to South Africa as well. They are being told they are going to experience extreme climate change
in terms of drought or heavy rains.
No, extreme high temperatures.
Okay.
Yeah. So Zimbabwe's wildlife is in crisis due to extreme drought, and they're actually dying. And in a remote southern eastern region of Zimbabwe, approximately 140 volunteers participated in a crucial annual wildlife census, monitoring the state of the nation's wildlife resources amid a concerning regional drought. And the volunteers operating in shift observing the positive impact of recent rains on the Greeny and Gonarezo National Park, known as the place of elephants. However, the park's landscape tells a tale of desperate elephants damaging baobab and acacia trees while searching for sustenance in the wake of drought. It's so crazy, you know, it's so crazy. Yesterday I was talking about how there's a part of Ethiopia, we have lost 50 people to drought. And in the same Ethiopia, we have floods. Yeah, and it still doesn't make sense how in some part of the country they have different seasons for me, because we know we only have different seasons, and a country cannot be experiencing different seasons in the same year, you know, or in the same time. Yeah, you cannot tell me we are in March.
I think maybe me growing up, I've known November, December, they are literally summer season. I don't know since when in Kenya it started raining from November to this, because rainy season it's literally from April to, no, I think till May, the end of May.
Even in some time, November was somehow wetty to December, and then after that, now January was dry to somewhere March.
January is considered of drought.
Yeah, but right now we are experiencing different seasons in the same time.
That's why we need to start questioning who's in control of the climate again. There's so many videos right now outside telling us about climate change, literally how it has been taken control of, how they are capable of right now even you know, pushing all these laser fires and all these fake clouds. I don't know if I ever shared the video with you which I said about the forming of the fake cloud, then it starts raining in some different regions. You'll find that maybe here in Rongai it's raining, but in Nairobi it's not raining.
It's funny that nowadays even here in the studio can be raining, but at my place it's
not raining,
because most of the time I come to work, at my place it's raining, but when I get here there's no rain.
It's crazy, manze.
It doesn't make sense.
African, I don't know, I wish we had weathermen. That's all I can say.
We used to have them, but right now they are corrupt.
We used to have weathermen, not really these ones who are predicting. This is a news. Tulikuanga na watu wange foretell, like, you know, weather, like the African scientific way. They could foretell the weather, how it's gonna be and all that. But right now, everything has just changed. It's just super crazy. And what I'd say as Africans, we need to be prepared. Once actually we won, because in Kenya, that's what happened. El Nino ilitangazwa sijui September. People waited. People even started making jokes and memes about this. And I said, the cause of effect. You've been warned about it. What you need to do is be prepared, because it's very clear right now that our nations and the continent of Africa is not developed enough to be able, or they won't purposely, don't want to come up with ideas of how they can deal with catastrophes that we faced before, you know, like kama El Nino, it happened in 1997. Since 1997, we've had how many presidents of Kenya?
So many.
How comes nobody has ever come up with wakafikiria it? By the way, since we don't and can't foretell whether maybe to assume evil, tunafaa to come up na a project that can help us, you know, find ways of water drainage and all that, you know, sourcing the water more into the dams and all this. No one ever thought about this until us akina watu kama sisi tunafikiria hivi, like this is really needed in Africa. So South Africa, Zimbabwe, if I'm not wrong, they have also been warned about the climate.
Yeah, we have South Africa, we also have Zimbabwe, we also have Madagascar and Malawi.
Damn.
Yes, and
waves, yeah.
in actually
Libya too, I think.
In Madagascar this started in October, but right now they're actually blaming this on human activities. Can you imagine? They are saying that drought is being caused by human activities.
Wow.
Or extreme heat waves are being caused by heat activities, human activity.
What type of human activity?
Let me read this. Maybe we'll find out. We'll find out in this article.
God damn.
The scale of heat wave that hit Madagascar in October, the worst the island has seen for 40 years, is a consequence of climate change caused by human activity, according to a scientific study published on Thursday. The phenomenon, which affected the south of the Indian Ocean island, would have been virtually impossible without climate change caused by human activity, stresses the report, with the World Weather Attribution and a global network of scientists that analyzes extreme weather events in real time. The study, conducted by 13 experts, concludes that climate change caused by human activity has raised temperatures by 1 degree to 2 degrees, depending on the variables studied. That is the average temperature, coldest days and warmest days. But a rise of even half of a degree can push thousands of people to their physiological limits and causes death, points out Sanyati Sengupta, a technical advisor at the Red Cross Red Crescent Climate Center. More than 13,000 people died as a result of extreme weather events in Africa in 2023, more than on any other continent, according to the International Disaster Database. You know, it is so crazy that they are not saying some of these human activities. They are just saying it is human activities. What are these some of
the human activities that are causing climate change? Because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you know, they keep on saying that we are polluting the environment to a point.
Who's the number one polluter of environment? One, if you speak about the environmental pollution, let's talk about how they have not come up also with ways. We're talking about water drainage. We have sewages left, right, and center, especially from the hospitals to people's homes. Have you gone to Korogosho?
No, I'm even wondering. Okay, Joby, we have open sewages and the open sewer lines. How are these contributing to heat waves and the climate change? So stop lying to people. Why does now this climate change cause one time on one side there's flooding, the other side there's drought, or there's heat waves? If it were the destruction of the ozone layer, I believe we are all supposed to experience.
So that's what I'm saying. It's their actions, Katie. Because their actions from the word go that has led to all this. Their activity, let's call, since they want to blame it on humanitarian activity, and the humans too. So their humanitarian activity has led to this, and which is them controlling their climate, because this is some bullshit. And it's just only Africa. We're not seeing China, we're not seeing Canada, we're not seeing CG Florida is gonna be affected. Maybe we're gonna see, because we're not reading literally the US news and information. It's Africa. But how comes we're not being informed about the global climate change? It's just literally Africa that has been hit with climate. Just Africa.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't
and
make
all at
sense.
once. It's crazy how it is happening all at once.
You know, if it was this, I believe they kept on telling us, and this is what we learned since we were young. If we destroy the ozone layer, the sun rays will be getting to hit us directly from the sun to our heads, or from to our roofs, or to the nearest thing. And I believe if it was for the sun, it should be globally. If it was for the floods, it should be globally. So why is it happening in some parts, and sometimes you have Madagascar is experiencing heavy temperatures or high temperatures, but right now in Kenya or in some parts of Africa we are experiencing heavy flooding. In a place like Ethiopia, these people are experiencing flooding at the same time they are experiencing heat waves.
Lies, we're not buying it. But like I said, it is up to us at this point, because the government, okay, these people, when it comes to the announcement of this, we need to understand, just like we saw in Kenya, funds have already been allocated to deal on how they can curb this kind of situation, how they can help deal with such kind of situations. But again, all the money goes back to the pocket of them, those who have been given to deal with the catastrophes that might affect people. So who are to deal with the problem when it affects or rather hits us? It is us, the Africans, we the civilians, we the majority. So how prepared can we be as individuals to deal with the situation? It's hard because once if you don't have the government help, you cannot be able to. If you're just talking about a hand-to-mouth situation, tell me how can you be able to even think about beyond climate change? So I don't know what to say on this personally.
It doesn't make
I have nothing
sense.
to
Africans
say.
don't buy this madness.
Because I don't want to keep on saying I hope. But the hope is all on us. But it will lead. It has to come from our action. How are we going to react when we are affected?
To a point that these people manufacture Jesus in the clouds, they can manufacture anything.
Exactly. If they can do the blue,
They put Jesus on the clouds and make you believe that Jesus has appeared to you. You'll see on 24th of December people claiming they have seen Mary Magdalene, Mary mother of Jesus.
I hope Prophet Award doesn't do it again. Because it does it every time.
It is so dumb of Kenyans, but maybe you can go through the comments on TikTok before we get to the other topic.
I see Joel Mosquito says, let me get that. Just a minute.
Okay.
Of too much rain, another is dying of droughts. Imagine. That's why it's still always surprising in like Marsabit, Turkana. When it comes to summer season, this is the place that is facing drought the most. People are dying. You can see herds and cattle literally dying because of all that. But when it comes to times of rain, which should be a blessing, people still end up
disaster.
Yeah, still people end up complaining and dying at the same time. You're also saying that they even have Jesus on toast. God damn. I don't know
For
about
real?
the toast. I don't know about the toast, but yo.
That's crazy. But going to the main focus of the day, this is about our country Kenya and our very own President William Ruto. He has done it again. He actually did this yesterday, and this is about privatizing 35 state companies, and he said that this will help us open up 100 slots, or it will help us open up capital for 100 more companies.
Lies.
If we sell this, or if we privatize these companies, these 35 companies, we will be able to open up capital for 100 companies.
First, I want to know which are these 35 state companies.
One is Kenya Power.
Wow.
Yes.
We're done. We are dead.
Uh-huh.
God damn. We are about to be in a blackout. We are about to be South Africa right now. We are about to be some part of Ghana right now, some part of Zambia where people are relying. No, it was Liberia actually, where people rely on electricity in some few hours. It is just darudi 10 ndo wafanye. God damn. What?
One is Kenya Power. The second one is Kenya Pipeline Company.
Oh,
the
no.
pipeline is used to ship or to transport oil.
Oh no.
The other one is banks.
Could this okay, first pause on that. Could this be the question or why Uganda ended a deal with Kenya?
Probably.
Because mind you, these talks before they do cut the deals, they do have meetings like so nataka kufanya hivi na hivi na ita kama itakufavor unaweza jitoa. Because that's what I feel. Because I remember with the article I read last time about Uganda Museveni complaining about our pipelines. Something to do with the pipe. What? Continue.
Yes, that is.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'm talking about. We have the KPLC, we have the Kenya Pipeline, we have some banks, and those are some of the companies they have mentioned. But the law makes it easier to sell state enterprises to private companies and aims to push up to private sector's participation in the economy, the president said at the time of the signing. And it's so crazy that he signed the law without us. He put this into a law. He already put it into a law without people knowing, and then he comes and says that the law already allows us. Well, he has just signed it few minutes after that, he comes and tells us the law already allows us.
And then you come ask us, like, advice on taxes we can help you impose. As if you've asked on this one. Why wouldn't you ask on such kind of question? Kenya Power, God. Do you know, oh my God. Do you know what we've just been gotten into?
Yeah, this is what I was talking about yesterday.
I swear, which it has already become a shasa. It's, oh my God. No.
This is what I was talking about yesterday. In the last privatized state-owned company in 2008, when it issued an IPO for 25% of the shares in telecommunications firm Safaricom. A year later, the cabinet approved a list of 26 firms to privatize, including the Kenya Pipeline Company, Kenya Electricity Generating Company, and the banks, but no action has been taken since. East Africa's economic powerhouse is facing a host of challenges, including depleted government coffers, skyrocketing inflation, and a plunging currency that has sent its debt repayment cost soaring. The International Monetary Fund said this month that it had agreed to a $938 million loan for Kenya, which also has a $2 billion Eurobond repayment due to next year. The IMF also urged Ruto's government to reform public sector firms, particularly the national electricity supplier Kenya Power, and the national courier services, that is Kenya Airways, which suffered the record losses in 2021. And this is the IMF actually advising the government.
Not even us.
It is not us. It's not coming from us. It's the IMF advising our president. So it's we actually don't get anything from Kenya Airways. The fact that it is incurring losses all the time.
Sure.
Remember that most of the shares, almost 50% or maybe whatever percent, owned by Queen Elizabeth. Let's say we own 50%. 50%.
Not even if it is 50.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's just assume it's 50. So the 50% of the money that it's earning, let's not even count the losses. The losses are Kenyans, but the money that is earning, it's always going to the Queen's family. It's not going to us because it doesn't benefit us in any way. Because we would see any benefit in the courier services, but we don't see any. So
oh my God,
it's just crazy. But on Monday, the World Bank said that it expects to provide the country of 53 million people with $12 billion in support over the next 3 years. Kenya had accumulated more than 10.1 trillion shillings, that is $16 billion in debt by the end of the June, according to the country's national treasury figures, equivalent to around 2/3 of gross domestic product. So it is just crazy. And now this is we are seeing the death of our country. We are actually witnessing the death of our country. We as Kenyans, we are actually witnessing the collapse of our country. And if we don't do anything, our country is dying just like that on our watch. Because let me tell you one thing, if the KPLC is privatized, this is a private company. You cannot tell a private company how to work. Do you know that? You cannot advise a private company. It has its own private advisors. So they can provide power whenever they feel like. Yeah, they provide power whenever they feel like. And if they don't feel like providing power in 3 months, that's up to you.
I don't know if Kenyans have seen this, but sijui kama wa Kenya wameona hii.
Maybe they even don't understand.
Probably, because I'm certain the news has been read. Utapata Citizen TV, KTN and TV, where's K24, whatever you get to get the news from. But where if the majority have not seen this, we're just the minority. We're just reading, and I'm shocked. Okay, I'm just shocked at this point. If we don't react towards this, and this deal being withdrawn, which has already been signed, I don't know. But to imeenda. like even though tumeenda, like Kenya is completely, we are done.
Yeah, we are with.
Because I don't know, we're talking about a year, a year of just leadership and ruling. Talk about the next 5 years. That's what they are saying. Still 100 more. So far 35. So by the end of, and we hear it's a decade. How many state-owned companies are going to be sold out?
What assets will be left for Kenyans? You know, that is the biggest question we shall be asking ourselves. What assets will be under our name as Kenya? You know that, because at this time we even don't, we are not sure that we have the Kenyan title deed. We don't know. Maybe we're living on somebody's else's land, and they might decide one day they are coming to evacuate all of us, because if now the state assets are being privatized or are being sold to private entities, this means that this is the death. We're just witnessing.
This way, you know, information is controlled. Why wouldn't they give us the name of who are the private firms or the private, literally the buyers? We should be able to be told this and who are going to deal with this company now. It's no longer a state-owned company, but this is the one who's going to own the company as a private firm. Who are they? This is the same bullshit I saw of Ghana, Nigeria, where we have private firms of, especially the electricity sector. That's what I'm gonna hint on. Man, we've been cooked. We've been done. What? I took already.
It's so bad.
We're waiting to see.
Hey, I'm just seeing us witnessing the death of our country. I don't know, Maria mtanisongea kwenyu Uganda, because I don't see, we don't have a life in this country if people are not willing to talk.
Wow.
You know, we are here to create awareness, but as much as we are creating awareness, I don't know how many people understand all this. Because this is so bad. We are actually witnessing the president selling off our assets. These are the assets that makes our money as a nation. So imagine to a point that we shall be, you know, and the fact that this is the IMF advising the president or the government, it means that they are gaining something from it. Or maybe they are telling them, give me this company, niku pay loan.
Because why did we get a loan?
Yeah, exactly. We got a loan suddenly. We
why
didn't
the
understand.
IMF is even involved in a state in the selling out of state-owned companies. How comes the IMF is literally involved? I just don't get it. Why is the IMF, the World Bank, whoever is involved? Why are we being loaned after? So I thought it's the one supposed to get the money. You know, like, so is it the IMF buying?
We don't understand.
Have we gotten the money from the private firms who are buying this now as private firms? What is really going on? What?
Man, I don't know what is happening to our country. But imagine we're just seated here witnessing the death of our country.
Collapse for
our country is collapsing on our watch.
This is serious, because we're talking about people who already have homes in Seychelles, in where Mauritania, sijui wako na tu lands zao na wamejenga mabungalow of houses there.
We are out of time.
Mabungalow of houses. Come on, super crazy. Keep, you have only 8 minutes.
Jamani, Keith will talk forever.
Keep, you only have 8 minutes.
We are starving. Kindly get in here knowing that we are starving. Tafadhali.
8 minutes, that's what I'm saying. Only 8 minutes.
You came in late, but anyway, let me allow you to join. Please join us via test stream. And get here knowing that we are starving.
I'm also angry, man. But this is crazy, manze. God damn, this is crazy. But I see John Mosquito before Kid comes in. I see John Mosquito says the country with too much rain should build a river into the country with no rain. Exactly. That's why I spoke of creation of dams, which if they speak of humanitarian activity, their humanitarian activity has led to the situation of where we cannot be able to deal with climate change. they should not speak of us civilians, our humanitarian activity affecting climate change. Let them talk about the mess that they have done, not being able to solve this kind of problems when they face us, where they don't have solutions, or they have not been prepared but just pocket the funds of the solution. So let's talk about that. You're also saying that, let me get that correctly. I see TikTok is
Keith,
in my hand.
I'm in. I'm waiting for you to join us. Anyway, we're still talking about Kenya. I was talking about this yesterday, and we didn't have no audience yesterday. I don't know where you guys were yesterday. It's like you were sleeping, all of you. But anyway, it's so sad that this is happening to a country that people don't understand what is happening. They might think this is for the good of our country, because the president is saying in privatizing these 35 state-owned companies, we shall be able to open up capital for 100 companies. Why do we need to start?
No, am I the one who has read it wrong?
Yeah.
Unless news sites are reading. Okay, let me. In a bid to boost productivity, President William Ruto said 100 other firms were also being looked for a possible privatization.
Well, that one is crazy. Yesterday I read on African News, they say that now if we sell,
If we sell, we're supposed to literally be able to produce 100 more.
yeah, these are going to create
100
capital
more.
for 100 companies. And
In
this
a
is-
bid to boost productivity, President William Ruto said 100 other firms were also being looked at for
Let me
possible
find this
privatization. So this is crazy.
let me see if I can
Yo,
find it.
this is insane. Super crazy.
It is crazy. Karibu sana Keith.
He has popped out again, or is still in. Okay.
I think my internet is it was popping.
All right.
I didn't expect to see your face.
Let me say this real quick. Since we're not live, so I'm gonna like. What this is a stealing of the country. When you gotta tell you that I'm an IMF, the Rothschilds, when they created this is to steal people's countries. It's called private partner ownership. They come in, put you in debt, so they can come back and now grab your real resource, your real businesses, so they own and control it. And destroy the country. So that's the whole scam. Ruto's the puppet. He's really doing it. Since Africans don't understand the nature of this, the IMF put you on. That's what I told you. Always read the story of stories of economic hitman. So what they do is they come in, they give you fake loans that you know you can't pay back, and then they leverage the wealth of the real wealth of the country, your assets. They take them. They want them in their hands, but they own these are no good Ashkenazi Jews. They'll come in now. If they own your electric company, they're not going to raise all your rates because it's about their profit. So everybody's not going to afford electricity. They're going to own it. All your sectors, they're going to own it. They're going to raise the prices on everybody because they're going to be the ones that own it. It's about their. And Ruto's going to be out of office by then, Tim. Well, I get the best I can. The African fucking puppet always said, I do the best I can. How could I know it's going to be bad? I didn't know. You know exactly what you're doing. You got every example all around the world and Africa. They come in and they steal all your shit. That's what this is about. And he's willingly, and him and his cabinet are willingly doing it because they know the Africans in Kenya don't know what is going on. When they own your stuff, never get it back. And they collapse the country. They steal all the wealth out of it. All of it.
And I bet this is why it happened after the IMF gave us a lot of money, of which we didn't know where it was coming from or why they are giving us a lot of money.
Exactly,
So this
Katie.
is why it is happening.
Exactly, Katie. You know exactly. That's why he knew he never took no loans from the IMF or the World Bank. That's why they killed him. He said, I don't want to take none of that shit. You be stupid. Why would I take any of these goofy loans? You want the country. Now they got what? Control of the oil and live is what? Completely destroyed and fucked up. People can't survive and live. When Gaddafi paying for everything. Medical was free. You got free money to start a family. You got free money to start a farm. Because these parasites want everything. Kenya's just as rich as Libya is. Why is Kenya impoverished? And that's going to be even worse. So that's what So that's what this is about. And if you don't fight it, oh my God, the prices in Africa. You think it's bad now? You think it's bad now? Well, that's okay. This is going to lead to a revolution because Kenya's going to be fucked up. Every country, Ghana got most of their shit stolen too. Nigeria too. So, I remember trying to steal the whole electrical grid. So there's gonna be revolutions in Africa because once you sell off everything, people don't have nothing. This is when is enough, you're gonna be really impoverished. So that's gonna cause it may be a good thing because you'll get it back because you'll get it back to revolution.
Do you think that it's going to be easy for Kenyans to get back these assets because so many of us?
I think that's a revolution. You got no choice. And when you go to government, you got no choice. You said everything is now nationalized again.
So many people don't understand what is happening. They even don't know that the government is privatizing 35.
I know. The youth will. You got 20 years. That means you got 20 years. I said, kids, you got 20 years then because things are going to get so bad. So bad. When they come in, they own everything. It's going to get so bad. The price is going to be out of control because these no good Jews get fucking real greedy. Don't give a fuck. We want all of the money out this country. And that's what they do. So the people got no choice. You're left with no choice, Katie, but to revolt. You're going to be a Mali and a Niger. You're going to have no choice. It's going to get so bad. But you got to go through the badness because, like you said, the Africans and Kenya don't know. It's got to get bad. Where everything is sky high, they own everything, you can't afford nothing, and then people are like, look, God damn, I got no choice but to revolt. I got no choice but revolution. You know, and they already did a model, Katie, here in America. They said there's gonna be a revolution in this bitch by 2030. That's why they're trying to rush this agenda. People in America are mad as hell. They already did a AI computer simulation where they know that everything is so bad for Americans now. They're saying, fuck it, it's time to overthrow the government. They already did the analysis. AI said by 2030 in America, you got a complete revolution coming. It's just going to happen because they've taken everything. People can't afford to live. People out in the street. You know, homeless problem in America is probably worse in America than in Africa. People can't afford to even live in this country no more because that private ownership shit that they did here. You can't afford to be in no apartment, no house, no nothing. So what is it to even live for? Can't afford to have children, you can't feed them. So it's gonna get so bad, Kate. I don't know how long. Africans take a little long because they're more docile. White people not staying poverty.
I hope I live to witness the revolution because
you gonna live unless you got somewhere. Okay, you gonna live. You're only 22 years old. You're gonna live. So how about happen by the time you're 35, 36? No, you're gonna be unless you get hit by a bus or something crazy.
I'm not planning to die, but now I'm just hoping that it won't take forever.
You died. No, you're still gonna be relatively young. So you can be about 35. You'll be about 37, 37, some shit like that. It's coming because you're not having any choice. Your back's gonna be against the wall. The only thing is make sure you survive during the revolution. Somebody just don't kill you. Really, you know, you want to survive the revolution. You know, revolutions are messy, Katie. You know, some people get killed. They're not supposed to get killed. So you want to say, hey, don't kill me. I want you to get guy. I was talking about the corruption long time ago. you kids that I here tearing up shit and revolting were only 10 and 8 years old. I was talking about this. Don't kill me. I wasn't a good guy. But yeah, coming up out of Africa, Katie, it's going to be enough to live. You got to, see, the African takes longer. I know the African react, right? It's active. African people, we are reactive. We're not proactive. So it's a long time to say, you know what? Fuck it. What is that? Can't pay my bills. I got no money for dowry. You know, man can't even get no coochie. Like, what the fuck? I might as well a woman making no job. I'm sitting in the dark because I can't get an electric bill so damn high. I can't. I'm thinking on what the company. I can't get a water. Affordable act. sit in the dark. What is there left? But that's all that's left. I got to unite and organize with young kids. Man, we got to overthrow this government. I don't want to that's all we can do. That's
I think our internet is terrible. You're chopping. We can't hear you clearly. I think our
wow, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's our internet.
Whenever you guys get look up what you're talking about, because you guys back up. Look up the Venezuelan Revolution, 1998, 1999. They private hands. They revolted and they took it down the rest of the world. Put sanctions on for their currency because they revolted. They took all the shit that the IMF is private shit. So Venezuela had a revolution. They've been trying to get it back in the 1 years came. They went and tried to get shot. I think
we can't hear you. You're choppy. We can't construct the sentence you're giving us right here. But anyway, kid, I think we shall wrap it up right here because it's the audio is terrible even for the audience. And I think you'll have to join us on the next episode of the Rhythm Scripture. But anyway, General Mosquito is saying the people won't have anything to lose. Very true. I think it will get to a point that everybody is tired enough and we will have nothing left. And this is why I think people will be forced to go into a revolution. And also General Mosquito is saying, Katie, what are you talking about? You're only 22. Don't cover to me with my age. But anyway, family, I think we shall wrap it up right here. Our internet is already misbehaving, and I think even our YouTube is somehow blurry. You can see us right. So much love. I hope you have enjoyed our conversations right here. It has been a wonderful 2-hour session with you, and I hope you have enjoyed our conversations right here. I can hear you. I can hear you in the
go check Venezuela. Okay, go check Venezuela 1999 revolution. How the IMF has stolen everything.
I can hear you.
The government. Alright, I'm done.
Yeah, I
heard you. You said we should check the Venezuela revolution of 1999.
Yeah, because the IMF on everything trying to take me back. They tried to assassinate Trump. I think they poisoned another, but I think they poisoned. But yeah, they've been trying to get it back because the people revolted. They said, fuck it, we can't afford nothing. We got to overthrow this government. So that's what Kenya's going to do. Everything's going to do.
Okay, much love, Koherini family. Hope to see you on the Rhythm Scoop Show.
Yes, asanteni sana to everyone who has been with us. It's been an amazing conversation. I hope Kenyans are going to be able to understand what is really going on very quick before it is too late. Because I think we might be in the dark more than safe. Now we've given our electors...
Joe, it's called the child. With Black Rock. You know. It's called, they're gonna buy it through Black Rock.
Yeah.
You're going to know.
But much love, family. See you guys in a few minutes on the Rhythm Scoop Show.
Ana shika tablet, ana weka vodo, ana piga tu flash ya jali chesa, ana shika tablet, ana weka vodo, ana penda kuzitoka zake zikimsho, ana shika tablet, ana weka vodo, ana piga tu flash ya jali chesa, ana shika tablet, ana weka vodo, ana penda kuzitoka zake zikimsho, ana shika glasi, weka barafu, luku anapiga ndula ndio huwa chafu, dem ni penki tupoa alafu, bunda kilo 10 jegi topa menda susa, approach proceed na